Let's Talk Sports fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, that was a different intro. That's not the fast beating intro, I don't feel like. But nonetheless, we are back, baby. We are back. I was thrown off by the intro. Welcome to another night of LTS, baby. I am your host, Bodkins. I am back. Missed all last week. The boys held it down Monday. Then we all took off the 4th of July. Hopefully everybody had a great 4th. Yeah, we can, Sam. I don't know, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, hopefully everybody had a good 4th. I don't really know. Not a whole lot to talk about tonight. I mean, hopefully we'll have Jim Behringer on. He has been on quite the adventure. Jonathan Grisham is taking the All-Star break off. You know what I mean? He's been out doing in California, coached the kids in the All-Star game. And now he is taking a hiatus, enjoying his time last week, I believe, out in California or so. But the rest of the gang, we'll talk a little football news, a little NBA news. We will talk, I don't know, a little wrestling probably. So this is the official dead time in sports, folks. I mean, it is this week alone. I mean, we got the All-Star break happening after this week. After that, man, not a whole lot to talk about. But nonetheless, we'll figure something out. Give it up for my only co-host tonight right now so far, Mr. First Base.
Mr. First Base. Yeah, Mr. First Base's team only got nothing, a big nothing burger.
I just saw that. I don't know if it was earlier because it looked like did that game just get over with, or was that game?
Yeah, it just got over with.
Because it looked like it was still like daylight outside, and I guess it's 7:00. So or not. Well, it's 9:00 on the East Coast. They're playing in Detroit, so
yeah, they're playing in it. Punk and Rollins to open Raw was amazing. I'll have to check that out, Alex.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
When you said NBA news, were you talking about Bronny scoring 4 points in the NBA Summer League? Because stop the presses. Let me tell you.
No, I could give two. Sam, first of all, I feel like after doing a show for together, there's two things I could give 2 shits less. That's number 1, Summer League. Don't fucking care about it. And number 2 is Bronny James. Don't fucking.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, right? I guess, and we'll talk a little bit about when Jim Behringer joins us. But what was your thoughts on just Money in the Bank alone?
Very good. I thought people were getting too picky choosy with certain things. I don't think Damian Priest had the best match. His fans are getting like really. Alan's one of his fans is getting really persnickety.
I didn't know Damian Priest fans existed. First of all, so
they do, man. They do. And let me tell you, they're like, what? He can't mess up. What? I know if we're gonna call out messing up on anybody, we're calling messing up on anybody. That's just how it rolls. Okay. Yeah. He didn't kick out. He was late on kicks. He was late all night. Seth carried the match. Okay. That's the bottom line. Women's ladder match was amazing. It certainly was.
It was the best. It was the best on the card.
For me, Io Sky with that power bomb off the ladder, that was epic. I absolutely loved that.
One thing I hate is getting on like after matches, after pay-per-views, is getting on like Twitter or X, whatever they want to call it. Yeah. And it's just our Facebook, and there's just people that shit on everything.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Just absolutely shitting on the fact that Drew McIntyre, they wasted a cash in. You know, that could have went to somebody else. Like, you know, Drew should have won. You know, they wasted it. Another wasted money. Who cares? Like, it furthered the story. The best storyline in the WWE right now is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
furthered the storyline to the best storyline they have. I am 101% okay with it. I enjoyed it. It even throws in Seth Rollins' wrinkle. I did catch clips to open up tonight's show. Rollins said, "Hey, when you're fully healthy, I'm gonna come gun you down to CM Punk. Like, you cost me the title as well." And Punk said, "You know what? I'm sorry, but because it's you, I don't fucking care." Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
So I enjoyed all of it.
I agree, Scoob. It was really good.
It was the best one of the matches. Best yet. I think the best girls match ever. But we've seen worse, like when Otis won the title. You know what I mean? Like, we all knew.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, like, there's been worse cash-ins.
Totally.
It furthered the storyline, so I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about.
Me neither. About people tend to
people
forget.
Are always going to find something to bitch about. You know what I mean. You give somebody $1 million fucking dollars, they're going to bitch to how it wasn't $1.5 million.
Right.
It's just people are always going to find a reason to bitch or complain about the. I thought the card itself was really good. I really did.
I did too. I enjoyed every match there. It's just the girls' ladder match was the best one. I also think the Bloodline match, I mean, a little contrived, sure, but it wasn't bad. But yeah, Punk versus McIntyre, Punk versus Rollins, Priest not beating anyone without help. So I guess that's his top three. I was happy for Tiffany Stratton. I kind of thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you're a big Tiffy time girl.
Yeah, she is fantastic. Hats off, Chelsea Green has to be the best bump taker of all.
Oh yeah, took a massive bump off the. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I thought even Chad Gable, like the fall, like where he damn near face plants.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I thought maybe they were going to try to do an homage to, like, you know, Jeff Hardy type to Edge Hardy. You know what I mean? Like where he gets speared off. If like while he was falling, I thought maybe Jey Uso would spear him, and then that would have, but maybe they could. That'd be hard to time. But
you did get a spear from McIntyre that was like shoot.
Oh, when he threw the ladder at Jay's face,
I thought that was terrific. I
thought the card. I don't know how he didn't break his nose either. That's good.
I have no clue. Those guys, they know how to do it. That's just all they can. I know how to do it. I don't know how. Like, that's a ladder, and Tiffy Alabama slams Naomi on the side of that thing, and I don't know how that didn't bash her brains out. I really.
Oh
don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they're professionals. You know what I mean? Like thoughts on the John Cena. I mean, kind of coming out of left field. This is it for the C Nation, the leader of the C Nation.
I have never been a huge John Cena fan. Dr. Thugonomics was fun for a little bit, but I didn't get the whole, hustle, loyalty, and respect. I don't know how Zoe's still alive. She botched twice and somehow made it out of there. So God bless her. But the 2025. That's it. It's kind of the ending of an era. I thought it was cool how Punk and his press conference got to talk to him after it was all over. I thought that was awesome.
He wants to fight him at least one more time, he said.
He should. I think that's fair. Like, that needs to be a pay-per-view match somewhere. That needs to be a big match. And I totally agree. Yes, absolutely. It needs to be a good one.
The thing of it is, it's not even the full year, because he didn't say 2026. He said 2025 WrestleMania, which WrestleMania is only about in April. So really, we're going to get, really less than a year here. We're like 6 months away from, a little more than 6, I guess about 8 months away or 9 months away, from April. So I'm with you on that. I'm not a big, I was never a big like John Cena guy. He was, but to his credit, he was the man in a hard era when you're in the PG era.
Oh yeah.
And you can't do a lot of things. Yeah. He made a lot of things work. So
the euphemisms, the everything without directly saying it was well done on his part.
Yeah. And he can cut a promo. Yeah. Is he great in the ring? I think we can all say, no, he's probably not the best in-ring worker, but you know what I mean? He can still fucking wrestle. You know what I mean? He's still he's the Hulk Hogan of this generation, you know, and that's what
they need. I mean, he'll definitely win a couple.
I think he'll win a couple. He's going to be at Royal Rumble, going to be at Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania. So he'll win.
He helps Cody. I think he helps Cody along the way. That's what I think. He keeps the bloodline from ganging up on Cody. That's my prediction. But
who would you? I've said all along. I think Randy Orton should be the guy.
It's got to be the Viper. It's got to be.
What tends to happen is they like to put a younger guy to put him over, or to Cena kind of get the Sting treatment, where when he retires he doesn't lose. Typically, typically the guy loses to put over the younger talent in wrestling. It's just tradition. Now, very few times has that not happened. Undertaker, he didn't lose to AJ Styles, and neither did we know. Sting just wrestled in AEW and didn't lose his last match. So, I mean, there's very, very few. Maybe they do that with Cena. I wouldn't mind even letting him win the title off of Gunther. And would that make 16 or 17? You know what I mean? Let him break Ric Flair's record.
17. Let him,
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I would be okay with that too.
I think that would work. I don't understand the whole Gunther push. It doesn't really translate well to me. I get that he's a big guy. He's a great heel and whatever else, but I don't know. I mean, like I had to put up.
I think he's a good wrestler. I'm a fan. So I'm not like a fan of his character, but I'm a fan of him in the ring. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, nothing from in the ring. Like what I'm saying is I've already had to watch this really long IC run for him. Do I really need to watch another long run with him with the heavy? Like, let him lose it. Let him lose it, please. He is boring.
Yeah, I think he's boring on the microphone. I'll agree there, Scoop.
Yeah,
I'm a big promo guy.
Vote and the thing that like it's all about the presentation.
Yeah, and I like his old name Walter better than Gunther. So.
You like Walter? You want Chunky Walter back? That's what.
You know what I mean? Just because Walter. So I enjoy it. Like, but man, I think I wouldn't mind Randy Orton being the guy.
No, me either.
Because when I think of Cena, I think of Orton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like their rivalry was. Heatwave was a banger from start to finish. I didn't watch Heatwave, but I saw some clips. Saw the two females. I mean, they could go. Ego, Ethan Page winning the NXT title in a tricky way, which was clever.
Trick Williams getting yanked as he's pinning somebody was pretty darn good. Say. I liked that. That was a nice little thing. Ethan Page is very good. So I was happy to see him finally win one. And it had me kind of like, I don't know who's going to win this thing. Like I was actually watching it going, I have no idea who's going to take it.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I thought the back to the Money in the Bank real quick, the main event I thought was pretty good as well.
Me too.
I mean, Fatu, Jacob Fatu, he can go. I mean,
the Samoan werewolf. Yeah.
Yes.
He's good.
I've been a fan of his outside of the WWE, and I think he's going to do huge things inside the WWE. But I enjoyed the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa pinning Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean? Cody Rhodes is only like 4 people have pinned Cody Rhodes since his return. It's like Drew McIntyre once, Solo, The Rock, and Roman. So
he doesn't lose any charisma either, because I mean they cheated to win. Like go figure, and that's just going to be how it works, I guess. But the I just don't want it to get stuck in the look they interfered to win. Oh look they interfered to win. Oh look they interfered.
I mean, there's enough of them, and you know what I mean. Like that, they're the heel group, and that's what's going to happen.
Somebody needs to go to war with them. I want some stable to go to war with them.
Well, I think to me, what's going to happen if I had the pins? Eventually, we know Roman's going to come back it's going to take some time. You got a couple weeks to realign himself with the Usos, and
I think he teamed up with Cody. Like, imagine the camera shot. Imagine the camera shot. They're both.
I think they try to. What I was going to say is they try to get the original bloodline back. They bring in Sami Zayn. Back to Sami Zayn, and that's your War Games at Survivor Series.
War Games. I love
Bloodline versus New Bloodline at War Games. I think you could see that. Now, what they do at SummerSlam will be interesting. Is it going to be Cody versus Solo, and then maybe Roman comes back then and he costs Solo the title? So it'll be different.
To go post episodes throughout America for WWE.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. And if I'm a city, Rob, I'm clamoring for this. So as a fan, I'm a fan of both. I follow. I'm obviously a diehard UFC fan. Follow WWE. I think if I'm TKO, and look, this is how I would package. I would package a weekend deal. And they want to get slap fighting on Fridays. And I would sell this package. Friday, you could either go to Friday night. Let's just say you go to Friday Night SmackDown or even slap fighting. If slap fighting gets legalized in some more states. But you can buy a ticket there. Then Saturday, you go to the UFC. And then Sunday, you go to the pay-per-view, right? You package that and you say, we're going to sell this for, X amount of dollars. You get all 3 days, all three at this, in this city. Why wouldn't you? Especially if you're a fan of both. For me, I'm like, well, that's worth the price probably, and they're going to have upcharge, VIP packages and things like that. But just for a basic package, for those 3 nights,
I would totally do it.
And if you're a city, why the hell wouldn't you? Because that's a hell of a lot more tourism for a whole ass weekend, 3, 4, 5 nights of tourism and people spending money, hotels, that thing's. Yeah. So I think it's a great idea. And if I'm TKO, I will call it a TKO package. Buy the TKO package, and you can get all 3 of these events for this certain price.
I guarantee you, if it came to Nashville, I'd be there.
100%. Right. I mean, go ahead and hire me. TKO is your,
Ooh, once he's done with Gunther, if he survives Gunther, he ain't surviving Gunther.
No, I think it's a formality that we all think that Gunther's going to win.
Yeah,
I think I've said this. I think Finn Balor could cost Damian Priest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that could happen. It seems like there's some sneaky. I think he's the one doing all this stuff with Liv, like getting her into the clubhouse.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. I'd be into that. Finn being the, I don't know. Finn's definitely got to cost him. He's being too much of the El Campeon.
Yeah.
I don't need them. They need me. And that's when it's like, you turned your back on us a long time ago and blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
Now we kick you out the group or whatever it's going to
be. You're out.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah. I think that's, I do. I think it's on its last.
It needed to go a couple years ago, in my opinion. I thought they were. It's like I'm mad that they put the titles on JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Is there really no one else to give it?
There's nobody else. I don't know what other tag team. Who are you going to put them on? Alpha Academy, Tozawa, and
I'll take it. No. I just think.
What's those 2 brothers? They're pretty good.
The Creed brothers. I would
totally
put it on the Creed brothers. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Well, what's it going to hurt? Even if they held it for like a month, who cares? They held it for a month. That's how I see it. Braun just speared Sammy in half again. Breaker winning at SummerSlam. I think so.
I don't know, possibly, yeah.
I think it was good he lost at Money in the Bank simply because he needs to learn like in their stories, you learn a lesson in wrestling, right? Braun needs to learn the lesson that he needs to not overestimate his opponent. And he overestimated Sammy, and Sammy beat him. Even though Braun was kicking his butt, I think for more than 60% of the match. Bring back TLC for tag titles. Dude, I would be absolutely psyched for that. I would totally take that. Oh, man. Anywho, love wrestling. It's Tiffy time. We all run on it. I'm fantastic. She won the the case. I think it's great that Drew McIntyre won it and then lost it hours later. I don't see anything wrong with it, but I am like you. I'm getting tired of the whining about can't believe Drew went through this and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Drew's a heel, guys. Drew's a heel.
I don't know because he gets face reactions at times, so I don't know if it's hard. He's a tweener. Him and Punk both really. You know what I mean? Because they both get cheered. They both do, heelish things, but they also do face things. So they're kind of a tweener, along with Seth Rollins is kind of like that, does some heelish type things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of with you as well on that. Also, I want to see. I propose this too. Eventually, Sundown. They couldn't pull the trigger on Friday or on Saturday when it was, but I think if you pull the trigger sometime down the line, KO should cost Cody Rhodes a match or something, and then turn heel, and then you could get a good Cody Rhodes versus KO as KO's the heel.
Not Orton. You don't want Orton and Cody. I kind of felt like
that. I mean, you could do that. The old legacy. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard because people don't want Orton's on the back end of his career, so it's hard It's hard for people to get. You know what I mean? Not to cheer Randy because he's a veteran in the game.
Right. Which is crazy to think about because Cody's older too. It's kind of funny.
Is he really?
I think so. I don't think he's.
No.
How old? All right. Let's see. Randy Orton age. Randy Orton is 44 years old.
How old is Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes 39.
Okay, that's decently old for an athlete, though, I would say. But
I mean, shit, Ric Flair was wrestling last year when he's fucking mid-60s. So.
Oh, bro. Oh, sorry. That's true. Awesome Truth was coming out, and Judgment Day stopped their song, and now Strowman's coming out to kick ass. So,
oh, really? All right.
Yeah. I can't get over how big Strowman is. That guy is so
He's a big son of a bitch. Yeah.
I was going to deck Cody. Yeah, he could have.
I thought so, too. I wouldn't be surprised.
So we do have a little bit of something here.
Right.
Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Cameron Sutton suspended for the first 8 games of the season without pay for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Sutton, who signed a 1-year veteran minimum deal with Pittsburgh in June, was released by the Detroit Lions this offseason after Florida police issued an arrest warrant for an alleged domestic assault incident in March. Sutton turned himself in to police 11 days after the arrest warrant was issued. So there you go. And now he's in therapy for his anger. So there you go.
So he's for performance enhancing. I thought I was suspended for performance enhancing drugs.
No. It wasn't performance enhancing. It was breaking the league's policy on,
Oh.
I wanted Randy to break the title record. Yeah, I kind of do too.
I wouldn't mind that happening either. Yeah.
I'd be okay with it.
Him or Cena, I wouldn't mind.
I mean, we talk about age, and I'm watching. I'm watching R-Truth at 51 throw guys around the ring.
Yeah, I mean, R-Truth, that guy is just
he's a monster.
Splits, yeah. Just kudos to R-Truth's a national treasure.
Yes, I love him. I was so glad he came back. Oh man, it's epic. It's epic. Are you ready, Nick, for the Olympic coverage that's going to be blasted onto our screens 24/7?
At least it's something on TV. I mean, right now I'm literally trying to find something to watch, like sports related, because I can't watch. I'll watch Raw tomorrow probably.
Sure.
But there is absolutely nothing on TV right now. Not one fucking thing on. Not one thing.
Dude, I'm scrolling through the headlines right now, and I've got a nothing burger. Cam Sutton was the number one thing. Everything.
I know you're not a WNBA fan, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Rob's right. There ain't shit on TV. But man, I want to get your take on who do you? And maybe I'll have more of a take, but I just want to kind of ask Who do you think is going to be this WNBA Rookie of the Year, Sam? Because it is a very hot topic.
Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark,
yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah. And let me ask you this. So me and my friends were having this discussion. What's harder to you? What's more impressive to you? Breaking the double-double streak in the WNBA or being the first rookie to have a triple-double?
I would guess rookie having a triple-double would be my guess, right? Is that?
See, I beg to differ now. So a double having 16 or consecutive double-doubles, that to me is more impressive than a triple-double in one game because you're doing it for multiple games. When I can do something multiple times, proves I got legit. And I'm not saying nothing bad about. Obviously, I'm not saying nothing bad about Caitlin, but to me, Angel Reese breaking the double-double record for consecutive games, to me, that's more impressive than Caitlin being the first rookie to get a triple-double.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay. Yeah, pitcher Paul.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Unfortunately, Jonathan's not with us tonight. I was going to ask him his thoughts in whether Paul Skeens should be the starter for the National League.
Yeah, that guy's a dangerous man. I could see why you would. I could see why you think that. I'm okay with it. I don't see anything wrong. I'm looking at both of their stats, and I think you could really sling it either way. Yo, right back at you.
Ball.
Hey.
So you're talking about Caitlin's stats and Angel Reese's stats.
Yeah, Angel Reese's stats. Yeah.
It's very close. So our friend Football Talk with Bo posted the question, and I'll read the stats for the fans. So Caitlin leads in points at 16.1 to Angel's 14.1. Now, they play two different types of basketball, too. Like, that's what we have to remember. One's a guard, one's a post player. Rebounds, Angel crushes right now at 11.9. Caitlin still got 6 rebounds per game. Assists, obviously, Caitlin's got 7.5 or 7, assists to Angel's 1.9. Steals is about even, but Angel's notches by 0.5. This one's crazy to me. Blocks, Caitlin's averaging 0.8 a block, while Angel has 0.4 blocks. So, and then turnovers, Caitlin obviously had 5.5, averages 5.5 turnovers. Again, your point guard and things like that, to Angel's 1.8. Again, Caitlin was the first ever WNBA rookie this past weekend with a triple-double, while Angel has the most consecutive games with a double-double, 13 in WNBA history.
Cool.
That's consecutive games. Which, so to me, like the question I was asking, Sam, to me that's more impressive than the triple-double the one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess you got to really ask yourself, like, what are the parameters? Like, what are we judging when we're going to give somebody an award like that? It's kind of like
for Rookie of the Year is what you're asking.
Yeah. Like, what parameters?
Well, so you look at their stats. To me, look at their stats, and then you look at like like the tiebreaker kind of goes to team success.
Right.
To me, and I said this the other. I probably give it, and you know me, I'm a big Caitlin fan. I probably give the edge right now to Angel Reese. I'm looking at the standings. So Indiana is 9-13. Chicago's right behind them at 8-12.
Okay.
So really, it really is a dead heat like tie.
Yeah, it really is. Gee whiz. I guess I can go Angel Reese if she's like, I'm with you, like multiple times. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of these opinionated topics that's going to be like,
it's going to be highly, and what the media is going to do. They're going to want everybody to take a side. Are you team Angel, team Caitlin?
Of course, you would pick that side, Todd. And then it's like, oh god, here we go.
Who should be Rookie of the Year? And I'm a big Caitlin fan, obviously. For I've been riding with her, but right now I'm not jumping off her ship or anything like that. But I also recognize what Angel Reese is doing has been phenomenal, and she might edge out right now over Caitlin. Now they're about half at the halfway mark, so we got the second half of the season to go. So that could change, you know.
The fan player awards being altered by team success. Sometimes great players are on bad teams.
That's true. I mean, Scoop, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying when I look at two players, that then you edge out. If their stats are very similar, I look at team success. But there's been a lot of great players on shitty teams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, shit. Dan Marino's been on several of them. You know.
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know.
You could go on and on. That's a good subject for a bad.
Yeah, good players on shitty teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, I just thought of something here, and I saw this the other day, and I wanted to get your take on it. And I was trying to think about this. Has any team at running back have a better Mount Rushmore than your team, the Titans? Because you got Earl Campbell, you have Eddie George,
right?
Chris Johnson, Derrick Henry.
I was
trying to think of another organization that had four really good, strong running backs, like in their prime. This, you know what I mean? Like CJ and now Derrick went to play on other teams. Eddie George did too, but in their primes, they were Tennessee Titans or Houston Oilers.
For the majority of their career.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know if you can find me four more at that position at another organization that are better.
Probably no. I can't think of any. As unbiasedly, don't mention Travis Henry. Don't mention the cocaine dealer. Robert. He will.
Maybe Tajay will be there.
Maybe. But I think
I do like Tajay Layton fantasy. I think he's going to be a steal.
I think Tajay is going to have a lot of receiving yards more than rushing yards, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. The team. There's a couple teams. I think the Bears. I could think of two. Every team I feel like has got a two or maybe three.
Weakness, right? You're talking about
Gale Sayers. Yeah.
Gale Sayers.
Yeah. Walter Payton and Gale Sayers for the Bears.
Totally. I wasn't LT and Sproles. That's only two as well though. LT and Sproles, right?
LT. No, it'd have been. Yeah. I know what you're talking. You're talking the Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson. Sproles isn't down on that level. LT is. That's it. The Chiefs, get the fuck out of here with Isaiah Pacheco, Tanner. I do agree with Jamal Charles, Marcus Allen, and Priest Holmes, the Nigerian Nightmare. He's not on their level. And really, Marcus Allen had a lot of years with the Raiders. I think his prime was with the Raiders more than the Chiefs.
I've been very fortunate to watch it. And unfortunately, you talk about philosophy or whatnot, and people like, you got to run the ball, whatever. But the leading rusher has not won a Super Bowl. They don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, now, especially the Steelers got Franco Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And the bus.
Yep.
Maybe Rashard, he was shit with that's because him and Al Davis didn't get along.
Will you get on, Tanner? Stop with your comments in the chat. Get on here. Get on here. Say it to my face, Tanner. I really can't think of any. I mean, we've had just a wonderful luck with some running backs. To me, though, and that's for nostalgia reasons, watching Eddie George run the ball was poetry. I freaking loved it. Nothing against Chris Johnson. Definitely nothing against Earl Campbell. Definitely nothing against Derrick Henry. But I would put Eddie George's work ethic against anybody in the league. The man never stopped. He never stopped.
Allen does have a good point here with the Cowboys. Dorsett, Walker.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Zeke up there, though.
But Zeke probably had – so if you go head-to-head, like, okay, so Earl Campbell, Dorsett.
I agree. Bengals, RBs.
If you go Dorsett, Campbell, I might lean towards Earl Campbell. Smith, I give it over Eddie George and anybody else on the Titans. Walker's probably equivalent to Eddie George's career. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last one is what I would take Derrick Henry over all of them. You know what I mean? Over Zeke and Murray. So therefore, the kind of disqualifies.
You're not going to have a lot of running backs like Derrick Henry.
But the Cowboys might be the closest one. That's a good point.
I think that's true. I agree with that. Watching Lindell White get 15 1-yard touch. 2008, what a year, baby!
Yeah, Lindell White. Little lightning and thunder.
The shirts, I think the T-shirts were Smash and Dash.
Okay.
Him and Chris Johnson were Smash and Dash, and then Lindell White.
Well, he was lightning and thunder with USC with Reggie Bush and him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot. Ugh.
And then Lindell ate himself.
He just really did. It got so big.
Eddie Lacy got so big too. Was so like that. I mean,
I drafted Eddie Lacy for a fantasy one time, and somebody's like, "Did you just draft Cheeseburger Eddie?" And I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Yeah,
I really thought. To be fair, I really thought Lacy was the bee's knees. Like I was watching him run up in Green Bay. I'm like, this
he was in college. It was about his first 2 years in Green Bay, and then they gave him some more money, and then he ate it all.
Ate himself out of the league. I just don't understand how this happens. You know what I mean? Like
that's 3, Alan, not 4. You got to have 4 to be a 4. You got to have 4 to be a Mount Rushmore. Dickerson, Paul. And Gurley's probably on him and Johnson probably had a similar type careers.
I would say so. Gurley didn't seem to last that long.
No, what's crazy is Todd Gurley's younger than Derrick Henry and a couple other guys in the league.
That's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, we'll see how Mr. Derrick does. Somebody, I don't even remember who it was. Steven Jackson?
Nah, I mean Steven Jackson had a short career too. I mean him and CJ's was shorter. They didn't quite have the longevity. Him and Gurley didn't have the longevity that you kind of need,
right?
As well.
Yeah, CJ2K was fun, but then he started wanting a lot more money. And then once we paid him a nice little bonus, he just didn't run anymore. And I was like, the brakes are beating off that guy. It's over, you know. And then he had that nice little run with Arizona when they was Johnson and Johnson in Arizona, and that's about it. That's about all she wrote.
I mean, it really, Rob, they did, and he had like degenerate knees. And then and Todd Gurley's the reason though they don't pay running backs now, because if you remember, Rams paid him all that fucking money, and then he went nowhere. I mean, and but he had like arthritis in his knees or something like that, and that's what really kind of his downfall. But the Browns had Jim Brown, and that's pretty much it, Alan. Alan just like naming.
How dare you forget Peyton Hillis? How dare you?
Yeah, Peyton Hillis, the 1 year wonder. Made the Madden cover, notorious Madden cover of Peyton Hillis.
He single-handedly beat Tom Brady by himself. That game will forever live in my head. I was like, how is this happening right now? I remember watching it.
Yeah, Rob, they did. Gurley and Zeke contracts killed the running back. I mean, that's why running backs won't ever get paid again right now.
Nope. And it was really funny because last year, Derrick Henry had a meeting with all the running backs, like, "Hey, we need to get what's ours." And then after the meeting, they were like, "It's just not, it's just not going to happen." And I'm like,
"You can get what you got 2 choices. You're going to either play with the contract they give you, or if you hold out, guess what? Nobody's paying you. You know what I mean?"
I hope we beat them in the playoffs. I have Mr. Burns laughing right now. Smithers, yes. Oh boy, I don't know.
You must be a Titans fan, I'm guessing.
Scoob, yeah, Scoob is. I know him. He wears a nice Scoob. He has a nice Titans themed Jason outfit, complete with hockey mask. Yeah, he's a big deal. He's a big deal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how Derrick's going to look in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson and everything. We always see some of these deals go through, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's done. It's the best free agency deal ever." And then it goes on, and then nothing happens. It's like a crap show. We've seen that a million times, but it doesn't stop everybody from going, no, man, everything's fine. Everything's great. Ignore all the signs like, Derek is not as spry as he was or anything because, running backs just keep on going on an upward trajectory after 30, and these kind of things.
Other times undefeated, and Derek's got a lot of miles. The thing, he's got a lot of miles on him, but his age also, because his first 2-3 years in the league, they didn't run him a lot.
No, they had DeMarco Murray. And then Mike Mularkey came in, of all people, and put him as the number one starter. That was kind of it after that. After he finally started getting a lot of touches, it was
it would be because I remember his first 2 years, I had him in fantasy, dropped him, and then I picked him up at the end of the year because they finally started running him, and I was maybe because he can bulldoze over everybody, you guys will fucking start giving him the damn ball.
Well, you're sitting there and you're stuck with Wisenhunt as your head coach for 2 years. And Mike Mularkey is a lot of things, but one thing he does know is who's a good running back and who's not. So, God help me.
And then Vrabel came in and obviously, changed the culture, and that was gonna be their guy.
Well, to be fair, I'll give credit where credit is due. I felt like Mularkey had a lot of part in that culture changing. He held guys accountable. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is your job. He made Taylor Lewan turn his whole career around. If you really look at it, it was kind of like, hey, you're not team captain anymore. You're not anything until you prove yourself to me, kind of thing. And he himself gave credit to him for that. But at the end of the day, the guy had a ceiling, and that ceiling was real low. So it kind of had to do something. Oh, I miss Vrabel.
You got the new coach now. You know what I mean?
I know. It's in my nature. It is in my nature to look skeptical at everything that comes along. So while everybody's like shiny new toys and free agency and new head coach, I have my eyes narrowed. You have to push the age limit back to 35.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't know, man.
35 is maybe 32.
I will be highly. Let me put it to you this way: I will be highly surprised if Austin Eckler can get anything going this year. I will be highly surprised. Derrick Henry's not to put a Toby Keith song kind of year, the one that goes, "I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm good once." Yeah.
I was not as good as I once was, but I'm as good.
No jump passes to Derrick Henry in the Ravens offense. No T-Bay passes. Oh man, what do you mean Lamar's taking it in for a touchdown at the 1 yard line? What? What's this?
So I don't think Jim's joining us, obviously, because he's not here yet.
I guess not. I guess Tanner is really late. I thought he loved me. Well, left at the altar again.
Yeah. Well, it's just a 2-man gang. We'll just go as long as we feel like it. Again, not a whole lot to fucking talk about it today, man.
No, there sure isn't. Like I said, I've been sitting here scrolling and updating the athletic news stories, and all I got is that Pittsburgh cornerback. And
a couple of just basketball notes. Paul George said he wanted to stay in LA, but felt felt disrespectful for the Clippers offer. Remember, he wanted 4 years. The Clippers said, nah, no thanks. I don't blame the Clippers for not going the 4 years. He also said in his podcast today that the deal to the Warriors was almost done, but something fell through there. And
our pod's better. Just so everybody knows, our pod's better.
He went to Philly. I did like the move for the Warriors to bring in Buddy Hield. That's a nice step. Who's going to be more useless?
Pollard's a backup. So I don't.
Pollard. We're going to go ahead and bring in super producer Tanner Dawson real quick.
Hey, look at him. He's got a different background again. What are you doing?
I'm shuffling some stuff around. Whoa.
Oh.
Hey there.
Whoa.
Found it.
Hello, Tan Man.
I have some adjustments I'm doing here. So
the answer is Eckler, by the way. I forgot to say.
No, the answer is Pollard.
Pollard.
Pollard is your answer.
Well,
From a
he is-
fantasy standpoint, Pollard is your worry for the
from a fantasy standpoint, yes, because he's backing up Tajay Spears.
Who wants to know the new? I like it. I like it. It's gonna force kickers to kick the ball. We're actually gonna get returns again.
You're not even kickers, Nick. You're not even going to use kickers half the time for it. It's all because it's strategic. Just like Dave Tope said, you're going to use safeties. You're going to use rugby guys.
Right.
You're going to use a whole bunch of guys that are able to kick the ball, place it correctly, but they may not be your Harrison Buckers and your Justin Tuckers.
Yeah, Justin Tucker said he's beefing up to be able to tackle some guys.
He's beefing up so that way when Mahomes and Kelsey swat away his kickstand again in the playoff, he can defend himself.
God, let it go, Tanner. Jeez, you won a championship.
Amen
That's
to that.
funny.
Nobody hits my kickstand. Nobody.
Tucker, I think Tucker talked about it too on Pat's show, or Pat did, or something like that. One of the guys did, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, they were in our way. They were in our way. That we were trying to be in their way. That's how it was." So.
It always amazes me.
Gamesmanship, you know. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, you. I mean, like mutual respect being for what it is, but like sometimes at the Titans games, they have the TSU band comes and plays at halftime. Very nice. Does a whole big spectacle kind of thing. And then like they're walking out and guys are literally like kicking balls over their heads the whole time. And I'm like, you guys want to wait? Like, what if you mess up and like just drill somebody in the face with like an 80 miles per hour ball you just kicked? You know, it always kind of fascinates me.
The new kickoff rules though are I'm interested. I'm not gonna say I'm excited. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm interested.
You're not superstitious.
I'd rather have Bethlehem get away with it than where you automatically get it on the 25.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But if it touches the end zone, then you get it on the 25 or whatever, the 30.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stipulations with that kick. I mean, there was a lot more deep dive we did in the Buffoons about the kickoff that I wasn't even aware of at first. So there's some nifty things. There'll be a lot of strategic placement in it. So, but I'm not gonna say I'm excited. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm just curious about it.
Good coaches you'll find out real quick who the real good coaches are. Good special teams.
You are gonna find
coordinators are because
you'll figure it out.
They'll figure like Bill Belichick would have it already figured out by now, and probably be like, hey, the first like 5 games they'd probably have 5 kickoff returns for.
Well, you're not looking at those coaches. You're looking at your special team coordinator.
Well, I'm just saying, like in general, you're going to find out who the good special teams and even head coaches are. But like Bill himself would figure it out and then relay that to you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at.
I got you. Yeah, no. Dave Tope came out in a press conference. They talked about that, and he came out already saying kind of an idea for him. Like he's like, what you got to do. Unlike the previous years where. You just make sure you're run the right formations. You get a little, crazy here and there, but because this year it's not going to be just Booker. So that's the wild part.
It's going to be crazy. Guys, I'll ask you this. Who's going to get their deal first? I think Chase is going to get their deal over CeeDee Lamb. I mean,
CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to get his just because Chase has got another year, I believe.
Oh, you think they're going to let him?
They can player option Chase next year after this year. He's still got his player option.
$4.5 million in cap space if you're the Cowboys. Ooh. They got to kick it down the road.
And they still got to play Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm. I think to me, but I'm a defensive guy. I think Michael Parsons has to be on that team more than CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I pay Parsons before I pay anybody.
Remember, we have to take care of our Cowboys talk.
13th in cap space right now. 13th
in
cap space versus 23rd. I'd definitely say if we're talking about getting paid this year before the season starts, Jamar Chase is going to be that guy. Because of the cap space alone. I mean, unless you're going to re-sign, unless you're going to go out and get Parsons done and get him for a cheap deal, you're not going to sign Dak back, right? So you're already not worried about that.
Dak his money, I thought.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? I forgot. He's a free agent next year, though. So
didn't they just rework Dak's deal?
No, he's still a free agent.
He's still a free agent. Yeah.
Oh, so
Boy.
all three of them are. I thought they just worked somebody's deal. Maybe that was
No,
somebody.
your free agents coming up for 2025. Legit is
Parsons.
I'll tell you, it's wild. It's wild. The names there are wild. Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, CD Lamb, Zach Martin, Cooks, your boy Trey Lance, Eric Kendrick.
Who's going to start? Cooper
Zeke,
Rush or Trey Lance? That's the
Golston.
discussion.
Yeah, Rico Daddle. I'm looking on the way for bigger names here. Carl Davis, Tyron Johnson. Oh, that's wide receiver. Never mind. Damian Wilson. I mean, you have half the team playing 2025 free agents.
Well, I mean, their coach is on a 1-year deal too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the coach. So
It's just wild when you look at the 2025 agency for Dallas Cowboys.
Whoa.
So they got to do something. They got to do. Mike Parsons is until 2026, so he's still got another year before you really have to do anything with him. You probably want to do it sooner than later, but you do have another year to get through there.
is next year his 5th year though? Next year they can player option, right?
Yeah, they can. 2026 is free agent year. I mean, if we look on the Bengals side of things here, yes, you still got a lot of guys there, but they're not big names. Chris Evans at running back.
Yeah,
Evan
I mean,
McPherson.
they paid. Their biggest thing is they've already paid Joe Burrow. They're not going to pay T. Higgins. They gave.
So you got to go out and pay.
They
guy.
franchise tagged Higgins. So
Jamar Chase is 2026 as well. So we got another year with him before
Yeah,
you got
they
to
can-
do anything.
pick up his 5th year option after this year.
Yeah, great. So you got it. You got time. So yeah, you might be right. CD might be the guy that gets paid first, just due to that fact alone coming into play. They could get.
I don't know if he's going to get paid by the Cowboys, though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I think so. I think CD's he's their best player. You're not letting your best player walk. It's like the Justin Jeffersons of the freaking world. You're not letting CD walk. So I know CD will get paid by Dallas. It's just a matter of are they going to get him for the season, or are they going to go into the free agency or pre-free agency era and get a deal done. So, but I think CD gets signed first now.
They've really put themselves in a hole, though. Goodness gracious.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't help. It doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like they didn't go out and get nobody.
Mhm.
Their coach is on a lame duck coach. Like he's on his final year. Usually this spells 9 out of 10 times. This all spells disaster. Your quarterback, your coach, all on their final years of their contract.
Well, you got 21% of your payroll being hit right now, and that's by Dak.
So what Jerry's trying to say is, hey, if y'all perform, I'm going to take care of y'all. But if you don't perform, which I don't think anybody thinks they're going to, this is it.
I think Zach Martin could get retained at a good deal, and I think CD gets retained at a good deal.
Alan,
They
could make the mistake we made.
Salary
Kick it
cap's
down
fake,
the line.
man. We've talked about this, Alan. Salary cap's fake.
Kick the can down the road.
You'll be okay. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll have to kick it down the road. I don't think it's fake, but you can kick it down the
It's
road.
fake. It's fake.
It certainly wasn't fake for me last year. I'll tell you that.
Eventually, some of it does catch up
it was
to you.
quite real. It was a
does
very
catch up.
real, tangible thing.
Chiefs had that
Ask
issue
the
as well.
Saints, ask the Titans. Eventually, you can only kick the can down so far.
In my case, 3 years.
And then after that, it catches up to you. But they also made some bad decisions.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like,
mean,
look, I was
it's
playing
just-
Clowney for 3 years. I was playing, and they were all wearing different jerseys. I mean,
Look, if you just get through the season, and let's say you don't take care of Parsons this year, you don't take care of CD, you let Dak go, you let Lawrence go, you let Cooks and Zach Martin go, you're 7th in cap space going into 2025 off season.
They-
7th in cap space, $67.5 million freaking dollars to work with, and you can't tell me that you can figure out a CD deal that you pay him $2 million in his first year, and then you take care of the higher pay, just like any other contract is, really, where you get higher payments in the last 3-4 years. I think you could do it. I really do.
What do you do about if you do like? So you're saying like let Dak walk?
Let Dak walk.
Yeah, they're going to let him, I think. Unless he wins the
got it.
Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Super Bowl
Like
is save him.
A Joe Flacco type situation.
I
Yeah.
think you say Joe Flacco. I was sitting this, and I've never been a huge AR-15 fan. Sitting watching him in the SEC, and I really wasn't super impressed with him last year. I think there might be
A lot of people are high on him right now.
I don't see it, but it's fine. And people love to show those clips of everybody during the offseason throwing the ball super well. You know,
Well, everybody can do that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, they're high on him. If you're from a fantasy standpoint, you want him because he's at a good price this year. Right? He's
Right.
middle six. You can get him around the 6th, 7th, 8th round still. It's the one of the two highest offenses last year coming into play. So yeah, if you're from a fantasy standpoint here, yeah, you want Dak on your team because he's a great.
Not Dak, AR.
AR.
Oh, AR, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
No.
AR-15, not AR.
AR. Oh, you're talking about AR-15.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want him.
Look, Joe Flacco starting after
He's
week
going
5.
so early too. Ugh.
What are they going to do? What are you going to do if you're the Colts and like
He goes
AR
down?
goes down and then Flacco comes in and like just does great?
You
know?
mean when he goes down? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
not-
when he goes down. No, I
we
agree.
know he's going to go down.
Yes. I 100% agree he's going to go down.
Joe Flacco and Sam Ellinger. That's unreal. That's unreal.
I mean, it's better than having Joe Flacco as a backup is better than having some other guys as your backup.
oh yeah, because you lost Minshew.
You
From
will
last
put
year.
some
Yeah,
respect.
he's going to be the Raiders' #1 QB1.
Yeah, he is.
You put some respect on my backup Mason Rudolph's name. You hear me?
I am not putting respect on Mason Rudolph's name.
Yeah.
You will put it on there.
But you can
It's
wish
so
that all you
funny.
want, buddy.
My favorite thing are these people that call into all these sports shows, and some of these sports people from Pittsburgh, they're like, "It's Mason Rudolph is the man, and he's going to start, you know, and he's going to take over." And I'm like, why do you think these things? Like, what has he done in his entire?
He couldn't start in Pittsburgh. He couldn't
Yeah.
barely start over Mitch Trubisky. They gave him opportunities. He couldn't start over 90-year-old Ben Roethlisberger, who couldn't throw the ball 2 yards.
Yes, I have said these exact
Kenny
same
Pickett,
things,
a
But-
rookie.
but
Yeah,
You know.
what was his name? Couldn't start
Duck.
over Duck Hodges.
Yeah. Unreal, man. I
God
can't believe
dang.
that.
Doug cautious. Anyway, people latch on to these quarterbacks, man, and they just don't let him go. They just don't let him
He's
go.
Mason Rudolph's a career backup and will always be remembered for the guy who almost got killed by Myles Garrett.
Exactly.
Like, that's it.
Helmet to helmet.
Put the
Yeah.
helmet down.
Yeah, that's
Put it down, Miles. Put it down.
That's it. That's it. That's all he'll ever be. If he starts 8 games for the Titans, Sam, my prediction of them finishing dead last will be.
It's not a good sign.
It will.
It's not
It
a
will
good
come to
sign.
fruition. If he starts for the Titans, I'm drinking every episode. Just so you know. I did this
Let's
last
say
year. I
that.
will do it again. My liver is going to be pissed. Hey Sam, you're
That's
on the way to the stadium. Shut up.
You might as well just want to sell your tickets because I mean, Jesus.
It's not a good.
I'm a
that would not
diehard
be
baby.
good.
And like I've said to every Titans fan that's ever like, "Oh, I can't believe you still go to those games." I'm like, buddy, I've seen worse.
I mean, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. Just trying to think. What is some of the guys, and we'll just kind of start with our own team. Sam, to you, you've seen a lot of shitty quarterback. What's
Sure
the
have.
worst quarterback that's ever started that you've seen start for the Titans?
The worst one, even worse than Jake Locker, was the guy they tried to replace him with in Zach Mettenberger. And,
I think he's a broadcaster. Wasn't he the broadcaster's son?
I think so. But he was LSU quarterback, and everybody was on fire. And even some draft people were like, "This is the steal of the draft," and blah 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 blah. So Jake Locker, for all of his faults, could at least like run a bootleg and throw it to the right if he had to. This guy couldn't move for anything. He
What's
just
crazy is the year before Jake Locker had come out in the draft. The year before he would have went #1, and then he had an awful senior year. Fell to 10 to you guys.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. Thank you, Nick. I remember. Anyway, but yeah, I'm very well aware. There were some great moments. He endeared himself to the crowd, but it's just not.
Scott Mettenberger.
You knew Zach Mettenberger.
Zach Mettenberger.
Yeah. So he finds out he's starting, but it's Halloween. So he does his opening press conference at his locker, and he's dressed. He's dressed like Ben Stiller from Dodgeball for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Like, I'm ready to take the reins for this team. It was. I was like,
now, what's it? Hal Goodman? Is that was his name?
I guess so. If you could have heard
Logo
my
Jam.
insides, it was like a deflating balloon. Just
We're better than you, and you know it.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, so he's up there in this outfit. He's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to take control of this team, right?" And I'm just like, Jesus.
He comes out to what if he came out to the press conference like that, just.
And that's when Sam was looking up at it and grabbed a bottle of SoCo and just started pouring it in.
Jake Locker, I'm better than you, and you know it.
Newsflash, he wasn't. He really
What
wasn't.
about you? The Chiefs have had a horrendous. I mean, Tyler. I'm thinking of some guys I've seen play for the Chiefs. Tyler Thigpen.
Hey, don't you hit on Thigpen. Thigpen and Palco are not allowed in this conversation. Okay? Those two guys
Why
are
not?
not allowed in this conversation. But I will include Brody Croyle in this situation.
Yeah, Brody Croyle.
Brody Croyle is the worst, I think, of all of them.
Yeah,
All of them.
I've been fortunate as a Packers fan. I've had to sit through two.
Yeah, how's your quarterbacks?
Yeah, I was gonna say Scott. To me, Scott Tolzien, or he was pretty bad. Who else we had? There's this kid from UCLA, and I can't remember. He started.
The guy you gave to the Seahawks, right? But you didn't really get a good look at him.
Tim Hasselbeck.
No. You had.
Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn.
Flynn.
Started. Yeah, no, Matt Flynn broke the record for most passing yards
Yeah,
in
what
a
are you
game.
talking about, man?
Oh, good for him.
He stole that contract from Seattle.
Yeah. That's why the Seahawks gave him a shit ton of money.
I
Because he
remember-
had one good game in Green Bay as the backup, and then he lit him up. I think that's the year we went 15-1 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
And-
I had friends up there in Seattle who are big Seahawks fans, and they were like, Matt Flynn, baby, bought the jerseys, bought everything. And
He
so
couldn't even beat out
everybody-
Russell Wilson. That's who Russell Wilson beat out to
Right.
get the job.
Did you like
they're
Brett
cussing
Hundley?
Pete Carroll, and
Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of. He's from
Brett
UCLA, Brett Hundley. Yeah, no, Scott Tolzien was probably worse. I think Scott Tolzien actually won 0 games, and then
He
they
was
actually brought in
0-1.
They brought in Matt Flynn at somewhere in between there. I can't remember if it was Hundley or Tolzien.
It would have been Hundley. He went Seneca Wallace also played in 2000.
Yeah, Seneca Wallace started a game. He
Yeah.
got hurt. Then I think that's where not Huntley, but Scott Tolzien was our third stringer.
Okay. Oh yeah, because Matt Flynn started. That's right.
And then they brought in Matt Flynn, and Matt Flynn came back. Like they brought Matt Flynn off the scrap sheet. Like he was just chilling at home. Like, Matt, come save us because we don't have a quarterback.
Oh, Matt Flynn, man.
Dude,
I'll never forget that. I will never forget that
wild.
as long as I
Yeah, I
live.
would say Scott Tolzien is probably the worst. And that's, so that's not as bad. He started a handful of games, I think, 1 or 2 games.
Yeah. Well, Scott Tolzien was 0-1-1. So he had 1 loss and 1 tie.
Yeah. He came in.
That's his official start.
Seneca came in.
Seneca had the 1 game where he got a loss.
He got hurt.
And then he
Scott
got hurt.
Tolzien
Yeah.
came in and finished that game out. Seneca came in like the first quarter, the first play or something like that because it felt like Tolzien was there. So
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Anthony Wright, Alan says for the Cowboys, Michigan. Who was that? Hutchinson, Todd Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I think it was that Brady
Chad
back.
Hutchinson. Chad.
Hutchinson. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he played baseball. Tried to play baseball for the Yankees at one time.
Wow.
I would say Brad Banks was pretty bad too for the Cowboys at one time.
Banks he was with the Ravens though, and he was good.
Yeah.
So
And then
that
that's
was
Trent Dilfer took it over for Brad Banks, and they won the Super Bowl.
Old Trent, man.
Old Trent, Drew Henson, yeah.
Drew Henson, yeah.
So he's a coach. He's a coach down in Nashville. He coaches
Drew Henson or Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
He got in trouble for yelling at a kid or putting his hands on a kid.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that kid
football.
was a kicker for the Browns, his son.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so Dawson. It was
Yeah.
Dawson's son. So
Oh, Dawson's son? That's
Yeah.
right. It
so
was. Yeah.
it took it to a whole new level.
That's
And,
even better.
but anyway, nobody really likes Trent Dilfer down here for the Ravens and everything along that line or whatnot. And
Is he still there? Because I thought he got fired or left, and now he's trying to be a college
I
coach.
want to say he took another job or
I
something.
do too. It wasn't too long after he hit the
He
kid or
is.
cussed at the kid or something. He didn't hit the
No,
kid. I
no,
think he
he's-
cussed at him.
No, he grabbed his jersey and kind of shook him.
Okay, that's what I thought. Right?
I was like, boy, I played high school for so
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just different climates and societies we live in. Like if my coach did that to me, my dad would be like, "You probably fucking deserved it." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you
well,
know,
the problem is Trent
Trent Dilfer's the UAB's head coach now.
UAB.
okay, that's what, yeah, he went to college. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
So-
like that high level high school coach that Sam was
Mhm.
talking about when he
Yeah,
with
correct,
Dawson.
Right.
Yeah, he's at
so,
UAB now.
the Trent loved to come on the local station and talk some stuff, and then somebody would always call in and be like, "You're an idiot. You have no idea what you." And it would be like another old player from his time. That's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was always so. But like my father-in-law loved Trent Dilfer, and one time he was talking to me. He's like, "You know what Trent says?" I'm like, "Monty, I got to be honest with you. I don't give a crap what Trent says. I don't care. Okay, I don't care." Well, you know, he admits he doesn't get everything right. I'm like, what does he get right, Monty? Tell me what he gets right. You know, I am not a Trent Dilfer fan, and a lot of people aren't. I feel sorry for the guy's mental problems.
I'm gonna give you guys the four quarterbacks that are considered like the worst quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl. Trent, obviously number one. Trent's in there.
Trent's in there.
Brad Johnson,
Brad Johnson
Joe
Colin
Flacco.
Kaepernick can't win.
wasn't the Giants' backup bad? Wasn't Hofstetler bad?
Yeah, Jeff Hostetler.
Yeah.
Mark Ripken of the formerly known as the Redskins.
Redskins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, I
mean-
think that's about right. And then
Who's the worst out of that?
Oh, geez.
Jeff Hostetler was like a career backup.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it.
Well, Rippin, he played for the Rams a little bit too.
Yeah, he was awful. He had that 1 year with the Redskins, and then
Who was the second guy you said?
Brad Johnson.
I
He had a
like Johnson,
decent
though.
career. He had
I
a
like
decent.
Brad. Hey, I'd say it's probably Rippin.
I would say
the
Rippin.
worst.
Everybody says Dilfer, but everybody forgets like people like Ripken and like.
Dilfer, look, I not a Dilfer fan, but Dilfer, if his number was called, would do something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Ripken was just kind of like, I don't know, let's see what happens. Like,
Brad
you know, what I mean?
Johnson's really on that list as the top four.
I don't know. I was just naming guys that I found most commonly known as like bad quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl.
Oh
okay.
yeah, no, totally.
I don't consider. I always
And
consider him
then,
a starter.
sprung a lot of coaches going, see, we don't need the best quarterback to win.
Well, I mean, the Ravens, that Ravens team that Dilfer won with, I mean, that's a Hall of Fame type defense. Like that,
right? Nobody was getting by them. I always found it interesting that Mark Bulger always had like a crap ton of yards. And,
oh yeah, he was awful. The Rams chose Mark Bulger over Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner kept getting hurt, and they liked Mark Bulger, and they said, "See you, Kurt," and he went to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And the card. You know, I read a stat this today too. Speaking of Kurt Warner only played 16 games 3 times. All 3 of those times.
Wow.
All 3 of those times, his team went to the Super Bowl.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I remember the valiant effort against the Steelers in the Super Bowl. But
yeah, against the Cardinals, yeah.
we should have realized how bad Ken Wisenhunt was when he was the one holding it together. It might be the only thing Matt Leinart was right about in his entire career. Because
when Wisdom was awful.
Oh
was
yeah,
he the head
he's
coach?
awesome.
Was he the head coach of the Cardinals then? I think so.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
the
Bruce
head
Arians
coach.
was the OC. Yeah.
He was just a dummy, and he came down here and he was still pissed off from being fired from Arizona. And when you have a vendetta like that, and you're putting your ego before the team, it was never going to work. And he came in as the court. I'm going to fix Jake Locker. I'm like, buddy, yeah, ain't no fixing Jake Locker. I got news for you. It ain't going to happen, son. Oh boy. Oh, bad times. Everybody has them. Some more than others.
Let me ask you guys this, because I was going to ask Jonathan, the All-Star, Tanner, I kind of asked earlier, too. Do you think Paul Skeens should start the All-Star game?
No,
I think so. No.
no, he's still a rookie, dude.
Why
He
not?
hasn't played. He hasn't pitched enough innings. He's dominant. But why would you start him ahead? Like we talked about in the
Because he's so cool, Tanner.
Cy Young Award winners. He's not part of it really. I think who started Glasnow? I assume
They haven't named the starter
Oh, they
yet.
haven't named it. I think
No.
Glasnow should start. I think your Cy Young favorite should be your starter on that side.
Why not the up-and-comer? They said there's 32 new All-Stars this year.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah.
insane. I think I don't mind that. I think it shows how the league is in. It's kind of a changing of the guard. We're getting change of the guard and a lot of good young talent coming up.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I
yeah,
agree.
for sure.
I'm okay.
No,
Some
I
people
just,
are hating
I
on
just
it.
don't think that you start
Ah,
your young guy. Actually, it's gonna be either Glasnow or Suarez, who's both have better years than your boy Skeen. So you're gonna get one of those two guys to start the game.
But why not? But Paul Skeens could be the face of this league.
Nobody. That's not what the All Star. That's not what baseball is about, Nick. You
But
know
why
what
not?
baseball's
Why not? It's the
about.
biggest game of the year until the World Series.
Go talk to Manfred. I don't know what he does. He doesn't market like the NFL. He doesn't market like
Why
the
not
NBA.
market your best, youngest, best player?
Because you reward your star pitchers in the league.
He's
Skeens
going to
is-
be a star, or he's somebody. He's
He's
an
not the
all-star.
biggest star. He's not going to win the Cy Young. You go after the Cy Young guys. Who's going to win the Cy Young? Probably Suarez or Glasnow if they stay healthy. Do you think Monaga even pitches?
Shota? I don't know. Maybe he might pitch a.
Shouldn't.
Why not?
They might blow another lead.
The National League might blow another league if he pitches, or he's going to blow another league.
All of it. All of it.
dang, son.
I mean, if you're smart here, you go out Suarez, you go Glasnow, then you go Skeens, right? You get him in the top three pitchers in the game, and just let them take care of business in like the middle, like third inning, fourth inning, whenever you bring them in, and then you can go to the rest of your guys.
Well, they're only each going to pitch an inning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pitchers on this roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not playing 13 innings.
No,
So-
I mean maybe a couple of those guys only pitch. They get rid of in the All-Star game. There's no 3 batter rule, right? Or is there?
No, there is not.
So yeah, I mean, a couple of those guys will just face one guy. I'm sure they usually try to get everybody in the game.
They do, and they will. You're probably it's gonna be tough to get them all in, but I think you get them in. It'll be interesting to see how much Skeens.
Royals got quite a few players.
We got a few in. We have
I saw
Bobby
2
Witt, of
pitchers. Bobby Witt, of course.
Perez, Lugo, Reagans, being the other 2 guys. So 4 guys. I mean, that's better than most of our years. So
Yeah,
for sure.
that's back
Yeah.
in the
probably
prime.
got announced today for the home run derby, baby.
Yeah,
I don't think I remember the last time the Royals had a home run derby. I don't think they had anybody in 14 or 15. Oh, Butler, Billy Butler
Yeah.
was the last.
yeah. I'm
Royal
saying
to do that.
country breakfast.
Yeah, God, that was awful. Thank God for Billy. Thank God for Bobby Witt to help us out. So
Yeah.
Would
Oh,
you guys
country-
like to
country
hear
breakfast.
the top 15 worst QBs? The number 1.
top 15.
Yeah, they have. Well, okay. It's like, let me see. Yesterday we've provided the best QB trios in the Super Bowl era. Now this is the worst QB trios of the
Okay.
Super Bowl era. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 15, New York Jets. Sanchez, Tim Tebow, Greg McElroy.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
That's 15.
That's 15. Yeah. Get ready. Get ready.
The Bears and the what? Before you read off, I'm going to guess the Bears. And Browns.
Number 14 is the Bears.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Okay.
Chad Hutchinson, Craig Krenzel, Jonathan Quinn, and Rex Grossman. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oof.
Number 13, New England Patriots. Hugh Millen, Scott Zolak, Jeff Carlson, Tom Hudson. Tom Hodson. I'm sorry.
This is like all time. So this is like Super Bowl era, you said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All Super Bowl era. Number 12.
So this is like the three worst quarterbacks
yeah.
for their franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
12. Yeah. 12, Seattle Seahawks in 1993. Rick Mirror, Dan McGuire, and Stan Gelbraugh. I don't even
Rick
know.
Mirror was awful, yeah.
That was in 93. That's awful.
That's really bad. Number 11, Arizona Cardinals. John Skelton, Ryan Lindley, Kevin Cobb, and Brian Boyer.
Yeah.
I really, you know, he was there with the Eagles, but it was obviously Andy Reid's magic that made him work.
Yeah, he didn't even play that much at the Eagles because they brought in Mike Vick after
Right.
he played
and then he went to the Bills and he tripped over that mat or something, and then he's like, I retire. He's like, I'm done. I've had it. This mat has broken me. New Orleans Saints, 1998. Billy Joe Tolliver, Danny Werfel, Kerry Collins, and Billy Joe Hobart.
Oh, man, that's some names.
Hey, listen, Kerry got us through 07 and 08, and that was all he had left, and I appreciate him for that. Oakland Raiders, Jamarcus Russ, 2008. Jamarcus Russell, Andrew Walter, Marquis Telesopo?
Yeah, Telesopo.
Marquis Telesopo. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember him? He won some games for them.
Yeah, they didn't win the 2 games they won that year. He probably won them.
He won them, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Number 8, Indianapolis Colts, 1984. Mike Pagel, Art Schlichter, and Mark Herman. I don't know.
I would have guessed for the Colts, the year before they drafted Andrew Luck when they almost went.
When Manning was out with his broken neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put in Kerry Collins right after we let him go.
Yeah, it was like Kerry Collins. Who's the guy that's on ESPN all the time? Orlovsky.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I can't remember. Pat McAfee was telling the story, and I don't. Maybe that wasn't the same year. I don't think it was the same year because Chuck Pagano. It was the year after they hired Chuck Pagano, so it was a different year. But he was telling the stories like Chuck was. They was out. They thought Pat was going to have to start quarterback. And they were bringing in these 2 other guys. I can't remember the guy's name.
I think Brissett got hurt that game.
Yeah, and he's like, man, we were gonna. They said I was gonna have to start because Andrew was out, the backup was out, and then we were trying these 2 guys, and Chuck comes in and tells the guys, "Look, boys, they don't look pretty. We're gonna have to play good defense."
I remember that.
Wow. Yikes.
Curtis Painter. That's who it was. Curtis Painter.
Curtis Painter. He looked like a caveman. I remember the long hair and the crazy beard. The New York Giants, 1997. Dave Brown, Danny Cannell, and Mike Cherry.
I know who Danny Cannell is. Those other 2 names I couldn't have guessed.
Yeah. Let's see. Kansas City Chiefs, 2007.
Let's see if Tanner, can you name them?
Damian Heward's probably on that one.
He is.
Brody Coyle, was he drafted?
He is there.
Then that would be Thigpen.
Yep, all 3. Look at him. He's got
it. Nailed it. Crushed it.
Let's go.
I'm kind of shocked by this one, but I guess I really shouldn't be. Pittsburgh Steelers, 1985. Mark Malone, David Woodley, Scott Campbell. I don't know. Where's Scott when you need him? Number 4, Carolina Panthers, 2001. I remember this. Chris Winkie. Matt Little and Dame Wayne Craig.
Yeah,
right?
Hey, that was the year they only won 1 game that year. They won the first game of the year. Chris Winkie Dinky led them the first game of the year. I think it was his rookie year, and they went defeated the rest of the way. George Seifert was the head coach then, and he was coming off the 49ers Super Bowl years.
Ah,
I had high hopes.
wow.
How can I fucking remember? I don't know how I remember shit like that.
I remember
I can
Winky.
tell you what I fucking did yesterday.
I remember Winky because they were posting his picture everywhere.
Yeah, he played at Florida State. He was an older guy. He tried baseball, then came back and played Florida State. Played Oklahoma, Allen's Oklahoma, I believe, in the national title game against Josh Heupel, your guy. Now,
But, yeah, we'll see. Let's see this year. Detroit Lions, 1988. Rusty Hilger. If anybody's name is Rusty, they're automatically bad. Chuck Long, Eric Hipple. That's not Heupel, is it?
Chuck Long. That's like my dad's idol hero. He's Iowa's best quarterback of all time. Speaking of Rusty, you want to hear a quick stripper story?
Rusty.
Let me just sit back.
Yeah. Oh God.
when I was DJ at the strip club, we used to have auditions every once in a while, to see if we're going to hire a new girl. And this stripper audition, her name was damn near Rusty. So I'm on the microphone. I'm like, give it up for the very first time, Rusty. And this bitch had a gimp in her arm, like this. And she had a gimp in her leg and a hitch in her step.
No.
She get up on stage. She was fucking twirling around.
John Witowski was the last one of that. God dang.
I said, give it up for Rusty. That bitch, her name was her name. Her style was her name, but we didn't hire her. We didn't hire old Rusty.
Why?
That's too great.
You know what? Nowadays, you would be sued for defamation.
I'm just calling it like it is.
That's defamation right there. Let's see. Number 2, Dallas Cowboys. Quincy Carter.
Yep.
2001. Quincy Carter, Anthony Wright, Ryan Leaf, and Clint Storner. I remember Ryan Leaf.
I remember Quincy Carter. He couldn't speak a dang lick of English. At all. Couldn't understand him. And I forgot Ryan Leaf started a game for them.
My team has escaped the top 15 by some miracle. I was worried I was getting close to number 1.
The Browns got to be number 1.
Absolutely. 2000, Tim Couch, Doug Peterson, Spurgeon Wynn. I forgot about old Doug being quarterback.
Who was number 2?
Number 2? Number 2 was the Dallas Cowboys.
Number 2 was the Cowboys, and then number 1's the Browns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Poor Browns, man. Poor Browns.
Wow.
I know.
And the Broncos weren't on that list?
Broncos weren't on the top.
Some bad ones too.
Well, they had what? Brett Ripon,
Ripon.
the 30-year-old from Oklahoma State.
Who's the guy that
came from the Browns?
Who's the guy that cried? Who's the guy? Paxton Lynch?
No.
Paxton Lynch. Yeah, Paxton Lynch. I think we're all on that same team or something in that range.
See, they were doing it the same year. You had to start the same quarterback, the same 3 different quarterbacks, same year.
Maybe they missed each other about like a year each, but it was a bad stretch.
They're still on a bad stretch. I mean,
Yeah, they're not really out of the bad stretch yet. So
they had a bad stretch after Elway. Jake Plummer had a year or 2 there that was pretty decent.
I forgot Plummer was there. That's right.
And then they finally got Peyton. They did have a Tebow year in there.
They did have a Tebow year. Playoff
year.
Playoff win.
Hey, you need
against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Tebow. God,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Tim Tebow and Dak Prescott had the same amount of playoff wins.
Oh, jeez. Oh. It hurts. Why?
It doesn't hurt me that bad.
No, I mean, like I'm like the guy that's like watching a car wreck. He's like, bro, I'm so glad that's not me right now. You know? Woo. Hey, what's up, Mettenberger? How you doing? God dang. Maybe think about Zach Mettenberger. I'm gonna start drinking.
You guys got anything else?
We're gonna talk.
Tim Tebow is 1-1. Dak is 2. He has 2 wins, so he surpassed Tebow.
Oh,
okay. Dak's got 2 now.
Yeah, Dak's got 2 now. Forgot last year.
We just never noticed, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they did win last year, and then we played them and beat them.
Yep.
Right? No,
Yep.
we beat them in the wild card game.
Did you? Well, he won. He has 2 wins somewhere.
Okay, somewhere.
That's all I know.
Oh, that's right. The year before that, I think they got to. Didn't they get to the? I feel like sometime.
They got close to the. I didn't think they got to the championship game the year before that.
Nah, they lost in the divisional round.
Yeah.
I think. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just know he has 2 wins.
Hey, we've already done our Cowboys talk. We're good.
We did our obligatory Cowboy talk. Well, that's the show, I guess. I don't got nothing else.
We got AFC West coming up on Thursday. Our first division look at.
Rob Logan is confirmed. He'll be joining us at 9:00 Eastern time. So right off the jump, we will cover the AFC West, our first division to cover.
Me and Alan will be talking some wrestling. We'll be catching up on Money in the Bank as well as this Raw tonight. Not a bad Raw tonight, pretty good. So I'm happy about that. And then we have our show Thursday night, and then Friday will be the next wrestling show with Alan and I. And then Saturday will be another Fanboys Unleashed as we continue to churn through this offseason, hell or high water.
Wrestling,
baby.
Tanner, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Just like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform channel you're watching on. Just make sure you like, subscribe, follow.
Amen to that. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July.
Very good heartfelt message, Tanner. Jeez.
Hopefully you have a good week ahead. We will be back Thursday. Rob Logan will be joining us as we preview the AFC West. So,
Best division in football.
He's gonna pump the tires on those.
The defending 2-time Super Bowl champs are in the division, so we're starting there. We'll do AFC West, NFC West the following week, and then so on and so on and so on. So, but AFC West next this Thursday. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. Me and Whit will be on Thursday for a new episode of Head Kicks and Haymakers. Going to be doing our pound for pound list because there was no UFC last weekend. This card sucks kind of this week. So our pound for pound list, plus we'll talk a little boxing. Please check that out Wednesday, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern as well. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. It's been another decent episode of the LTS.
I'll take it. We talked about bad quarterbacks. It was fun.
Yeah. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. Go ahead, Sam. Hit that outro, baby. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.